Oh, I'm muted. I'm muted. So I just spent I just spent the first couple of minutes. So you guys just heard me saying nothing, right? You heard like people, come on, my friends, you need to be on the Facebook right now and tell me that I am muted. Thank you, Eden. Thank you. So welcome to Wednesday live coffee talk show. So this is a show where I bring you love, courage, and connection. And so today I have a guest, Eden Busani. She is the founder of Meraki Official. And she's a young woman who is all about personal development and spiritual growth. With every phase in her life, she leads others to discover their true potential and guide them to find purpose and contentment in their own personal life. Happiness is not something you find, it is something that you create. And Eden's life mission is to heal the broken beliefs and restore happiness and purpose to each individual's life. So without further ado, welcome, Eden.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm actually really excited. We've been planning this since last month, so it's about time.
I know.
For me, my birthday is next week, Monday, so I feel like it's just in time to celebrate.
Happy birthday. You look amazing. So Eden, tell us about yourself. How did you started the whole your own personal life? What led you here?
Well, it's actually a long story. I can take you back to like 10 years ago, but I'll make this story short. Basically, I started my personal development journey because sometimes in life, you just feel like you either grow or you just stay stuck where you are. You know, sometimes life kind of forces you to grow. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So that's what I've been through 4 years ago, actually. I felt like I hit rock bottom with whatever issues I was going through with my parents, did not get along at all. I was depressed for 6 months. I was with toxic relationships, whether it was friends, significant others, whatever it was. I just did not feel meaning in my life. I did not feel purpose in my life. I felt like I wasn't understood. And that really, really affected my self-esteem, my confidence, my happiness, and everything that comes along with it. So I really, really hit rock bottom. And at some point, I also actually battled with addiction. So I was really like, this cannot get any lower than this. My mom's friend, actually, she saw what I was going through from the side, and she offered to help. Now, at that point, you know, as a teenager, I didn't want any help. I was like, you don't understand me, don't talk to me, I don't want help, I don't need help. The truth was I did need help and I did want help. And even the bigger truth was that she did understand me because she had her own life story. So when I'm just putting it in your phone. When she came over to me and actually helped me out, she told me the following, and this is the one thing that she said that really, really made a difference to my life. And I actually am writing a book right now. I just completed it, and this story is in the book. So she told me, Eden, take out a piece of paper, write on that piece of paper everything that you feel has been holding you down, all the burdens in your heart, write it down. All the memories you don't want to remember, everything that makes you depressed, right? You're depressed for a reason. These flashes go on in your head that make you depressed. You feel like you don't want to exist anymore. And it's just write it down. At first I told her, are you crazy? I'm not writing down like 4 years of memories. I'm not doing this. She said, trust me, do it. And so I did it. I took a journal. And I wrote down everything. And I'm going to be honest here. I did not want to write this because I was so full of shame. When I was writing this, my heart sunk to the bottom of my stomach. So like, it was just shameful. It was guilt. It was regret. It was feelings that it was uncomfortable being around myself, seeing that I'm writing it. It's like my vulnerability was out on paper.
And I had to make sure that this notebook would never be found, because if this were to be found, my life, like, I felt like it would be over, because this is everything that I hated about myself is out there on paper now.
Mm-hmm.
So she told me, I finished writing everything, and she told me, Eden, did you finish writing everything? Are you sure you wrote everything? I said, yeah. She goes, double check. Read it again and double check that every single detail is on it. The good, the bad, the ugly. Write it down. I want you to get into so much detail that you are like tearing, you're crying, you can't do it anymore. I want you to get into that moment. And I did. And after all my hard work, I came to her with this notebook, and she told me, good, now burn it. And at first I was confused. I worked so hard for this. Now I'm going to burn it. She goes, yes, I want you to burn it. And that's where she stopped. She said, just burn it. And I did. And I started a fire, mm-hmm. and I burnt it, but I took it to the next level. I burnt it. And as I burnt it, I didn't just burn it and leave. I burnt it, and I made sure every single page was crumbled, dark, ashy, went up to the sky in flames. And as I watched it, my heart just like felt like I opened up a cage. In that moment, I told myself, I am reborn. This is the moment where all my burdens, everything that has ever held me back, left me, and I destroyed it. And no longer am I defined by those things that I was guilty about, that I regretted, that gave me shame. I forgave myself. In that moment, I will never forget that moment in my entire life. And every time I feel like I'm maybe going off my path, you know, everyone has a goal, but you have to stay focused. Every time I feel I'm going off, I remember, if I did something wrong, I'm reborn. Mm-hmm. I have another chance. And that's the lesson that she taught me in my life. No matter where you are in life, you have a second chance. Mm-hmm. You can always change your life around. And that's what really started getting me. That's what I started when I started with the personal development journey, and really understanding that, you know what? I do have a second chance. And not only do I have a second chance, I deserve it. And I took it.
Mm-hmm. How long did it took you to write that journal?
Well, if I wasn't stubborn, and
which we know you are, because just from our time together, I know Eden is totally very stubborn. She has a personality. She's very determined, very focused, and this has been amazing. So I'm really curious, like, how long did it take you to write that journal?
I was stubborn, so I wrote, and then I didn't write, and then I wrote, and I ripped it out and started again. So I think I would say about a month to write everything. I did it during work. I was working at an office 9 to 5 at that time, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to take the time whenever I don't have anything to do. I would write things down. So here and there, I would write things down until eventually became like a book of shame, I would say.
Yeah. And how long did it take you to burn it?
Oh, 2 seconds. The fire ate it up like it was nothing. And as soon as I had it, and as soon as I got the okay to burn it, I ran to burn it. That was no stubborn there. I was like, I'm done with this. This is my moment, and I did it.
And what I hear is, you know, it took you a month to write down, and it almost sounds like, you know, our life journey. We take a long time dwelling on all the shame and guilt and negativity that we have in our life, but it only took 2 seconds for you to feel that freedom.
Yes. And you know what? That's a big lesson. And I learned it from her. It's a big lesson, because a lot of times we get so stuck on the small things. We get so stuck on like, why didn't I do this? I can't forgive myself because I did X, or I feel guilty because I didn't do this. And we get so stuck on it that we forget to live. Mm-hmm. We're just surviving one moment to the next, thinking, how can I fix this? But in the reality, it's already in the past. What are you going to do about it? You can't change the past. You can't rewind the clock. You know, if I wanted to go back an hour ahead in time right now, there's no way I can do that. So why would I be sad or depressed or stressful about what happened? Mm-hmm. I have the moment right now, and it's the present. And that's why it's called the present, because it's the gift. You know, it's the gift of life, living in the now. You can never live in the future. You can never go back to the past. You only have the now. And you know, I wrote a quote in the book that it just reminded me of some people have, okay, everybody has a past. Some people have a future, but even less live in the moment, live in the present. Even less are gifted with the present. That's the exact words I said. And you know what? It's true.
Yeah, it's giving me goosebumps because a lot of us, you know, we say in the past we go look for the future, but very few of us actually recognize the gift in our present moment. So tell us about what you do now. Yeah.
So right now I am working towards growing myself, and on the way I'm also taking others with me. So it's really focusing on myself. My whole journey right now is about what can I do to better myself, because you know there's this thing that's going on. Everyone's trying to help other people, which is amazing. You know, you see social media, everyone's trying to change other people, but that's where the line is so thin, because you can help other people, but you can't change other people. You can only change yourself, and change starts from within. So if I want to help other people change, I need to, number one, be a role model. I need to do it myself. And number two, I got to change myself first. I will never know. I would have never known what to say, how to answer your questions if I wouldn't have started with my own journey myself. So it really starts from within. And so I'm reading lots of books. I just finished my first book. I'm getting it edited right now, and it's going to go into publishing hopefully like October time, with a journal that I put together, because it's a lot of exercises in the book. Like it's, you know, really changing your life. And I want to put a course together with it so that people can actually hear and be, you know, in it. So I'm doing courses, writing books, speaking. I have my podcast. So I'm doing, you know, slowly.
She's being very modest because you know you need to follow her on her Instagram. She's such a big influencer on the Instagram, and that's how she and I connected through Instagram. And she is just this amazing woman, and I've been checking out her website, her work, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And it really brought me to think about, you know, a lot of time we know that beauty is, you know, it's only skin deep, right? But there are so many individuals, especially I see this in a younger, you're probably my youngest guest on the show so far.
I'm honored to be your youngest guest. I'm honored to be the one called the youngest.
You are the youngest. And I think a lot of that misconception about our new generation, especially generation coming out, you know, Generation Z, um, a lot of misconception lies in the fact that, oh, well, they don't know anything, they're just on social medias, and they're just looking into the pretty stuff. What would you say about that, and how would you
I think age is just a number. I think wisdom, knowledge comes with experiences and education. And I feel like a lot of the younger generation also has like people my age, younger than me. I've had on my Instagram people who were younger than me that I learned from, and they were like 17. I had to get a parental consent to have them on my Instagram live because I was so blown away. I said, I need you on my Instagram, but I'm not doing this if you're, you know, you're not even legal yet. Get me a parental consent that they allow you to be on my Instagram live. And they did. And I learned so much from them. I think it has nothing to do with age. I think, you know, lots of kids, teens go through lots of experiences in life. And they learn from it just like any adult. And you see today, so many teenagers, so many young people, they do so well, and they speak, and they have businesses, and they're motivating, and they're influencing so many people because they have that ability to do so. Yeah.
What do you think would be the main message that you would like to share with, you know, people who's within our age group and who's still struggling in that phase where you were, you know, you were in that place where, well, I'm really skeptical about writing the journal. What is that going to do for me, you know? So for people who's hearing this and they're going through that journey of being stuck in that moment and just really focusing on what's wrong with everything that they're experiencing, what would you want to say to them?
Break those limiting beliefs. or as I would like to say, mend those broken beliefs. Because we as a society believe that, you know, I've heard so many people, and people told me straight to my face about me, I don't believe people can change. People don't change. And to me, I was like, excuse me? Have you ever tried to change in your life, or were you just a straight line throughout your entire life? You know, people need ups and downs in their life. And that's what people, a lot of people don't understand. They take their ups and downs, especially their downs, as a negative thing. But if you look at the heart, I don't know how to call this in the hospital, you know, the heart rate, you know? Okay, so
yeah,
that one.
yeah, no worries.
So you know, when you look at the machine, it's up and down, up and down, up and down. And if it would be a straight line, that person would be dead. In order for them to be alive, you need those up and down lines. If it doesn't go up, it doesn't go down. And if it doesn't go down, it won't go up. You got to have those in order to live. Mm-hmm. If you expect your whole life to be perfect, in the box, what everyone expects you to be, the American dream with the white picket fence, and you have everything you ever need without ever going through challenges, you're dead. You are a dead fish swimming with the current. You're not having your ups and downs, and that's you can't survive without it. Mm-hmm. So I think we need to change our perspective, especially as adults and as we grow. You know, every phase in our life has their own opportunities and their own challenges. I think the biggest thing would be to change our perspective regarding challenges. Do not see challenges as something that kills you, as something that hurts you, as something that makes you weak or less than blank. Mm-hmm. You know, what doesn't kill you make you stronger.
Yeah.
You gotta get through those challenges. Challenges are the only way for you to grow. If you're not falling down, you will never ever grow. And that's, you know, you can look all the way back through history. You will always see the biggest people always grew through the fact that they went down. Even look today, all the biggest influencers, how do you think they became influencers? Tony Robbins, look at him. Addict, crazy background. You know, you look at his YouTube, he talks all about it. Grant Cardone, biggest businessman, real estate, billionaire, whatever. Addict, crazy background. You look at everybody, they have a crazy background. They had their downs. But in order to find your strength, you've got to go down there and see what your strengths are. That's the only way you can get back up. That's the only way you can reach up. So that's the biggest message I would say.
And you know, I hear a big word, resilient. And I think that was a topic that we had talked about. It's about
we did that.
Yeah. And you know, Eden is just this amazing woman with lots of resilience. And listening to her story, listening to her journey, it was very inspiring, and knowing that, oh, you know, there's others out there who experiencing the same ups and downs like me, and they are able to come out of it. So there's hope. I think what your story is really bringing is a lot of hope to people who's currently experiencing this. And one of the things that I thought was really interesting, and both in your journey as well as mine, is that there's always that individual who's there to guide us to come out and then say, it was your aunt, right, that you had mentioned?
Actually, it was my mom's friend.
Yeah. So what's your perspective in terms of having a mentor? Because I know one of the big things that you were focusing on your website, especially, is about guidance others, lifting them up and being there and supporting them. So what's your perspective on the mentorship?
I think that, well, let's put mentorship, let's use a relationship kind of, because a mentorship is a relationship and you can use anyone as a mentor. So I think in regards to relationships with other people, if, you know, people are relational, we are relational creatures. We need other people. We find our spouse, we need to grow. We have a friend, we have parents. In order to be who we are, we need other people to lean on. People who feel like they can do it on their own, independent, they don't want help from anybody, that's great. You can be independent, but don't let your ego get to your head, because when you're going to have your down moments, which you will, you're going to be left alone. And that's the time when people are looking for support. That's the time when people are looking for a shoulder to cry on, for a hand to hold. And so when you're having those good times, try to remember that those bad times will come, because in order for me to keep staying up, I got to go down. So, we tend to forget that, because when we're having such a good time, we tend to forget about, oh, it's going to come soon. Well, it's going to come, and you need to prepare to make sure that you have those people around you who can support you and lift you up, because when you can get back up again, then you're back on track. I think a mentor would do great. I know therapists also do great for, helping other people. I personally went to a few therapists back in the day when I was looking for help. That personally didn't connect with me. I had to find someone who had a similar story to mine, who understood me and spoke from her heart, not someone who was sitting with a pen and a paper and just, it wasn't for me. I'm not saying therapists are not a good idea. They absolutely are. And find yourself a good therapist. Your therapist can be anyone. It can be a friend. It can be your mentor. It can be a significant other. Find yourself those people who you can lean on, who can support you and who can help you bring you back up, because that's the most important thing. Don't ever think you can go through life on your own, because you can't. You really can't. We need people to, that's why we need each other. And I'm going to take this to the next level. We need each other. So we need to stop hating, because if we're going to hate everyone around us, we're never going to have those people to support us. Everything that's going on today, this one hates this one because of this. This one doesn't like this one because their color, their race, their gender, whatever. But we forget that we need each other. We really, really do. And in order to grow, we need to unite and really hold hands and grow together.
Mm-hmm. I think, for to relate what's going on around the world right now, I feel that there's a lot of people who had hurt in the past, and who hasn't really healed completely. And I don't usually like to use the word heal, because I don't believe that we're broken. And there's nothing needs to be healed. It's about, how we perceive our experience. So what's really interesting is, if we haven't really let go of that hurt and letting go of whatever that was holding us back, writing on a piece of paper, writing in a journal, that would allow us to let things go. If we haven't already done that, then we're going to come back into the world and we're going to be really a hater will always hate. Right? Because then we're going to go around and express how we feel. Yeah. So I know there's so many things that you're working on, and there's so many blog articles. There's an amazing article on her website. Go check it out and definitely read it. It's a beautiful website. Well done. To go check it out. So what would you say your future look like? I know you're working on a couple of ebooks.
Yes, I'm working on some ebooks and books. My future, I have great dreams.
Tell me about your dream. You're getting me all excited.
Yeah, you know what? Here's another lesson. Don't be shy to talk about your dreams, because you have so much potential. Don't be shy with them. So here's me being I forgot the word. What's the opposite of not shy?
Open? Vulnerable?
No. I forgot the word. I forgot the word. Share. But yeah, here's me being me. So my plan for the future is I really want to get on the big stage. I want to get on the big stage, be a speaker, and influence other people through social media. Yeah. You
have a podcast. And what's your podcast called?
I do. It's called the Meraki Podcast, but I'm going to give you a little heads up. We're changing the business around a little bit. We're going to be changing the name to the podcast. So we're still working on it. For now, it's called the Meraki Podcast. So we're working on getting to the next level now.
Yeah, she has a team of people. So definitely check her out on Instagram. She's a big influencer on Instagram.
Oh, thank you.
If you were to describe the world describing the world, what it needs in one word, what would it be?
Love. And I'll tell you why. There's two things in this world. The world, this universe is broken down to two, the good and the bad, right? There's always like a balance, sky and earth, hot and cold, male and female. You know, there's always tall and high, the good and the bad. Now, the universe is divided into two, again, love and fear. All emotions stem from these two, love and fear. Hate, guilt, regret, misery, worry, doubt, depression, anxiety, stress, lack of whatever, lack of patience, lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem, and it goes on and on. All stems from fear. If we really, really dig down and look into ourselves to see what is causing me to judge, what is causing me to be jealous, what is causing me to lack patience. Maybe I don't trust the journey. That means I'm fearful. What is causing me to worry? Well, I'm afraid that if this doesn't happen, this is going to be the result. I doubt because I'm afraid, right? So it all stems from fear. Positive emotions, joy, laughter, happiness, contentment, meaningful life, friends, you know, being happy stems from love. You laugh because out of love, you're happy out of love. So there's two things in total, love and fear. The universe made it so simple for us. You know, when there's too much to choose from, it's so difficult, but we only got two things to choose from, love or fear. It really depends what we need to choose from. And I think the right choice would be love. So if the world needs anything, it would be love. Right now, we're so full of fear. It's unbelievable. Everything we see in the world is so full of fear. But again, it's all about perspective, because there's also so much good in the world. There's so much going on that helps. But unfortunately, the media exaggerates the fear part, that's all we see. But if we really put that aside and look at the other end of the spectrum, there is so much more love, because we need that balance. If it was all fear, it would be hell. And if it was all love, it would be paradise. So we need that balance. So there's both, but I would say we definitely need more love in this world.
Yeah, and you know, one of the purpose of this show is actually to shift our perspective, because a lot of the media would focus on the negativity, you know, what's going on, but what's going wrong in the world. And so my idea is to invite guest speakers like you who can share more love to the world, and that you actually believe in having that love, and what you're doing is actually spreading that love every single day without anybody recognizing it. And I think it's important for us to be on the same page and to be in the same room to talk about love rather than talking about the hate. So I love what you're doing, and it's been a great honor to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
Where would people be able to find you? You got a couple of things going on that you're working on.
I do.
August, right? Was it August?
My book?
Yeah, or October.
September, October. I'm still working out the details, but they'll find it on my website. So again, my business is changing a little bit. So for now, the website is merakiofficial.com. It's changing. Yeah, we're upscaling. We're upgrading a little bit, which is good. My Instagram is Eden_Busani, so you can find me there. And my Facebook also, Eden Busani, everything under my first and last name.
Yeah, beautiful. It's so easy to find her, and she's if you look for if you're on my Instagram, then it's so easy to find her. I follow her.
Thank you. So much love. I feel
it. Trust me, it's love. It's great to have you on the show, and I will have all the link in the episode notes. Thank you so much for coming, Eden.
Absolutely. Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. And thank you everyone for watching another episode of Live Coffee Talk Show, and join me again next Wednesday for another episode, an inspiration that will bring you to your home. Bye, Eden.
Bye.